Welcome to 28storms.com. This is your cyclone update for this Friday, the 30th of December. We've already covered Thane extensively in prior videos, so this is more so an update on what is occurring in the South Pacific and Southern Indian Ocean. First off, all is quiet now across the Timor and Arafura Seas, along with the Gulf of Carpentaria, since the remnants of Tropical Cyclone Grant have pushed off toward the east over the Cape York Peninsula and eventually into the Coral Sea. And we can also see that there is still quite a lot of convection associated with the remnants of this system, but the latest water vapor continues to show more troughiness right off the Queensland coast, which is going to make conditions unfavorable for redevelopment. As expected, what is left of the low-level vorticity max of Cyclone Grant has now become much more elongated from southeast to northwest, and the wind shear values are increasing across much of the low-pressure area, with wind shear values exceeding 30 to 40 knots, and the system is moving toward the east-southeast, which is in an area that is going to be even more unfavorable for development. All that being said, though, the remnants may allow for a slight increase in rainfall chances across New Caledonia, extending northward into the Solomon Islands, but elsewhere much of the South Pacific is quiet at this time. But there is a little bit more activity in the Indian Ocean. Of course, this is Thane moving into southern India, where it has caused at least 6 fatalities thus far. And more toward the south, we have a second system. This is now Tropical Cyclone 4S, and it's gaining strength over the open waters of the Indian Ocean, but it is currently far away from any land masses. The following is the latest track forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, and the JTWC is forecasting more strengthening over the next few days while the storm continues to move southwest and away from Diego Garcia. The latest products from the University of Wisconsin reveal a strengthening low-level vorticity max associated with the cyclone, and although conditions are not completely favorable for development just yet, the models are forecasting improving conditions over the coming days, but as of right now, the favorable upper-level ridge is displaced from the center. The upper-level ridge is actually a little bit more toward the southeast of the storm, and that is inducing some modest easterly wind shear. But as we turn to the latest 0Z run of the ECMWF model, it is quite evident that the model is intensifying this cyclone further as it continues to move on off toward the southwest. But as of right now, it looks as though that in the medium range, the cyclone will get caught up by a mid-latitude trough, which will allow the storm to turn away from the Mauritius Islands over the southwest Indian Ocean, but we will still continue to keep a close eye on this developing storm. Meanwhile, the latest forecast from the GFS model is also quite similar, with the cyclone strengthening but then eventually turning off more toward the south and not directly impacting any land masses, while the remainder of the Indian Ocean and South Pacific remains quiet throughout the forecast period. So it appears that the tropics will be relatively quiet for at least the next week or so in and surrounding Australia, which is certainly some much needed relief after we have been dealing with what is left of Tropical Cyclone Grant. And that is all for now, so keep it tuned to 28storms.com/cyclone for more video updates throughout the remainder of cyclone season.